Hi, welcome to week 7 of COM 111. The purpose of this video is to help you with submitting your interpersonal paper that is due this week, as well as looking at the group project which starts this week. When you are in week 7, please make sure that you take a look at the outline. You will notice that there is no discussion board for this week. There is also no quizzes or reading assignment for this week. The purpose of this is to make sure that you have plenty of time to finish up your paper and get that submitted this week. As stated in the email that I sent out at the beginning of last week, if you need more time to work on your reading and your quizzes, you are more than welcome to do that, and I pushed the deadline for those quizzes to October 10th. So if you have not submitted your quizzes yet for the chapters from last week, please make sure that you get those in by midnight on Sunday, October 10th. So for this week, you do have your interpersonal paper due. So please just make sure that you read through all the directions for the interpersonal paper. The handout is located in this week's folder. So as you hopefully know by now, you should be having a conversation with someone that you know well. So this could be a spouse, a friend, a parent, a romantic partner, whoever you would like, as long as you have an established relationship with them. You do need to record the conversation that you have. You do not need to share that with anybody, but you do need to have it so that you can go back to that recording and use quotes from the conversation and ideas, and that works better if you're able to listen to it again. So please make sure that you record it. Again, you're not submitting that piece of the project. That's just part of what you're doing to prepare for the paper. I'm going to go down to the grading for this project. So you're looking at basically a you may remember this from high school, but the 5-paragraph essay where you have an introduction, 3 main topics, and then a conclusion. I'm going to ask that your paper is more like 8 to 12 paragraphs because each of those main topics should have a couple paragraphs each. So the first thing I'm looking for is an introduction. You need to tell me about who you had the conversation with. What is your relationship with this person? What did you discuss? You are welcome to use the person's real name, but if you would prefer to keep that private, that's fine too. I'm the only person who will be reading these papers, so if you're concerned about privacy with your classmates, they won't have access to your paper. The next thing you need to do is to choose 3 topics to look at that relate both to our textbook and the conversation that you have with the person that you talked with. So those can be anything from our text. I've given you some examples here. So eye contact could be one, supportive behaviors, love languages, types of friendships, etc. These topics can come from reading that we've already done. You can also look ahead in the book if you would like. The final thing that you need is a conclusion. So this is where you have a brief summary of what you covered in your paper, and then you tell us anything that you found to be especially interesting during the conversation or that you learned from having the conversation and then relating it to the text. So my expectation is that you have edited this paper and it is free from spelling and grammatical errors. If this is something that you struggle with, please make sure that you take time to set up an appointment with the UAA Writing Center and have them look over your paper with you to help you make sure that it is edited and ready to go. Once you have your paper ready, you can turn it in using this link here. Please make sure that you submit a PDF of your paper, or you can provide a link to a Google Doc if you would prefer. The next thing that we are doing this week is we are starting a group project. So we have finished our interpersonal unit with this paper. We'll be moving on to group communication. So you will be participating in a group project. This can be done completely online, and it can be done without having to meet as a group. You do have opportunities for extra credit if you decide to meet all together, but it is not a requirement. So the requirements for this group project are located right here. Notice that the due date for this is not until November 14th, so you have a lot of time to work on this project. I will be providing you with lots of information, and we will be taking baby steps to completing this project, so I know that it might seem overwhelming this week, but please give it some time to sort of sink in and trust me on this process that it will all come together. So a wiki is a website where collaborative editing and writing come together to create a cohesive website. So the most famous wiki that you have probably encountered in your life is Wikipedia. So different people come together and edit and collaborate in the writing of a website to make sure that all the information that you get is cohesive and coherent and that it makes sense. So you will be doing that idea. You'll be creating a wiki on Blackboard over group communication. So I have expectations listed here. Please make sure you read through those as well as the grading. I'm going to jump down here to the timeline. So you'll notice that for this week, you need to make contact with your group and you need to complete the icebreaker activity. So this week, I'm just getting you familiar with the group area on Blackboard and giving you a chance to get to know your group a little bit. So if we go back to this week's folder, you'll notice that there's an area for groups. When you look at this page, your name will be listed under one of these 4 groups. Please make sure that your name is there. If it isn't for some reason, just send me an email and I will get you added in there. Click on this link and it will take you to the group area of Blackboard. When you go to this area, the only thing that you will see is your group and then the wiki example. So if you click on your group members will be listed here, and then you'll notice that you have all kinds of tools to help you be successful in completing this group project, as well as ways to contact your group. So you have an email area here where you can send an email to your group. This is a good week to decide what the best way is to be in contact with each other. In past groups, they have discussed things through email, Google Docs, Hangouts, this discussion board that's available here. Some students prefer to use text messaging, so you need to just decide what works best for your group. For this week, I want you to check out the group discussion board. This is where you'll find the icebreaker activity. If you click on this, you will see my example. So for the icebreaker activity, I would like you to share a picture, a video, or a GIF with the group, and then to talk about how it relates to your life. This can be a personal photo like the one I have shared here, but it doesn't have to be if that is uncomfortable for you. So I have uploaded a picture of me and my dog Daryl, and then talked a little bit about myself here. So this is just for you to get to know me a little bit better. So when you do this, it's to help your group to get to know you a little bit better. After you see some posts on here, I would like you to take some time and to reply to your class or to your group mates as well. Say hello, make a comment about what they've posted, welcome them to the group, those types of things. So this is a chance for you to get to know your group mates a little bit better. We will be taking more steps as the weeks go on, but for this week, all I want you to do is to figure out the group area and to do the icebreaker activity. If you have questions or concerns regarding the interpersonal paper or this activity for the group project, please let me know. I hope you have a great week. Bye.